fair warning, hopefully you can hear my voice over the waters rushing through. But anyway, you know, today basically the summer's basically ended, and basically it's also my 50th video, and I'm really happy about that. So I decided to do a special video where I recap all the movies from this past summer, give them like a one word to one sentence synopsis about the entire movie, something like that. It's just something I thought would be interesting to do, and hopefully you might like it or something like that. Now for May, I know I didn't do any reviews for any movies that came out this past May, but I will give you a rating for them and probably briefly describe a little bit about the movie, but hopefully not too much. And I'll definitely come back from when I started in June and just give you one word to one sentence descriptions about each of the movies that came out recently. Now I'm going to start off with May, and I'm going to start off with one movie, Iron Man 3. In a word to one sentence, I can say probably this: even with its terrible twist, it still was an enjoyable and fun time. Now, let me briefly describe what I was talking about, because let's face facts. I hated the twist that happened in Iron Man 3. I did. I thought, and here's the thing, I didn't hate the fact that they took that twist or did something like that. It's just the way they presented it to me. That's just what made it terrible, but that's just my saying. And overall, you know, the movie, it was still fun. I liked it, but I'm going to probably give it about a 6.5. I mean, not exactly what I expected. Definitely better than the second one, but still, nevertheless, I really did wish this one could be a little bit better. Now moving on to Great Gatsby. A visual and stunning, marvelous good time. And I really mean that. And I know a lot of people either liked the movie or hated the movie, but nevertheless, I personally loved this movie, okay? You can argue with all the controversy you want. I loved this movie. I give this movie 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie. I really loved it. Next movie, I don't know if anyone went to go see this movie, but it's Peoples. It's basically another movie from Tyler Perry production company. It's not good. There's nothing good about this. There's nothing interesting about this movie at all. But nevertheless, I mean, it had funny moments, but still, you don't feel anything. You don't get emotionally attached to anything. You don't feel any humor or anything like that. I give this movie a 3. It just wasn't good. Anyway, Star Trek Into Darkness. Definitely a very good sequel tying up from the original. Now, hold on, I didn't say that right. Hold on, let me restart that one. A surprisingly well-made sequel based off of the beloved first movie. Yeah, that's a better one. Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, I loved the first Star Trek movie. Maybe not as much as others, but I definitely loved the first Star Trek movie. And this one, it just really shows that J.J. Abrams still got it. I mean, he's a great director. He's made movies like Super 8, Mission Impossible 3. You know, the guy can make some killer movies, and I really like that about this guy. And so, Star Trek Into Darkness, I give this movie an 8. It's a great movie. Go check it out. It may not have been exactly as good as the first Star Trek movie, but honestly, to me, they're like very close. And yet, they're just still both very, very good movies. I loved it. What's another one that came out? This is going to be a long while. See, like, this is like what I said. I don't do scripts or anything like that. Oh, yeah. There are 3 different movies that came out in the same weekend. The first one was The Hangover Part 3. A little bit better than the second one, but no way better than the first one. Now, you know, I mean, the third Hangover, I mean, it definitely got some very poor reviews by critics. They said it was even worse than the second one, but personally, I think this one was a little bit better than the second one. It was a little bit more funnier, even though I didn't really like the premise of the story. I still kind of dug in with it, but nevertheless, I mean, it's just a movie to pass the time. I give this movie a 5. It's okay for what you get. Another one that came out, Epic. I was really looking forward to this movie, but then, or let me just say my first sentence. Not what I expected at all. You know, because let's face it, when I saw the trailers for this movie, I was really stoked. I was like, this movie looks like it's going to be so freaking awesome. And then I started seeing the promos, and I'm like, ugh, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. But nevertheless, I mean, I still enjoyed the movie. There are definitely parts you can take away, and there's some parts you can't. But nevertheless, it's still enjoyable, and I love the animation in this movie. That was the best part about this movie. So Epic gets a 6. I mean, I really wish this movie could have been better, but nevertheless, I guess I'm kind of satisfied for what it was worth. Now moving on to Fast and Furious 6. I don't know what, and here's my sentence. I don't know how they do it, but the Fast and Furious series is definitely going up rather than down. Now, really, I mean, let's face facts. Okay, I liked the first Fast and Furious movie. I did not like the second one at all. The third one, I never really seen before and probably not planning to. The fourth one, it was okay. The fifth one, wow. What a great movie that was. It was a great movie. I'm not even kidding. Now, the sixth one may not have been as good as the fifth one, but nevertheless, this one was really good also. I give this movie a 7.5. I mean, I can't get it to greatness, but you know what? It's still a great Fast and Furious movie. It's something different. It's a new style, and I like that about this movie, that they don't try to necessarily just do the street racing. You know, they try to do for a different story. But hopefully, we'll see if the series can keep progressing as in Fast and Furious 7, you know. Anyway, and another movie that came out this next weekend, an M. Night Shyamalan film, After Earth. Now here's my sentence for this movie. Not as bad as some of his previous movies. Yeah, okay, now let me just stop you right there, because let's face facts. I mean, I saw The Last Airbender. I definitely did not like this movie. I really hated this movie a lot. But honestly, I can't say that's his worst movie. I'd have to say that's The Happening. Man, what an atrocious film. That movie was horrible. It was just horrible. Okay, it was god-awful. Now this movie, I mean, it has a little bit of some of the qualities that I liked about Shyamalan. And then it's like a movie that kind of meets in the middle, but in the end it's just unsatisfying. It didn't do anything for me. I didn't like this movie. I was really disappointed by that. I'm going to give this movie a 4. I was really just unimpressed with this movie. Definitely way better than his previous movies, but some of his previous movies, but man, I really wanted this one to be good, but it just wasn't. That's all I gotta say about After Earth. Now You See Me is a movie, again, that people may like and some like. I personally actually like this movie. I thought it was pretty entertaining. You know, it's like a surprisingly entertaining magician movie, however you want to say it. It was really entertaining. I really liked this movie a lot, and it was very entertaining from the start. The ending's like, yeah, it's passable, you know, it's like that. It feels like, you know, you always try to build a movie that you actually is good, and then it just kind of goes down in the end. But nevertheless, I still like this movie. I give this movie a 7. It's a great movie, or it's not a great movie, but I like this movie. It's entertaining. Just go check it out. Now I'm getting back in June, starting with the very first videos that I ever done. And now this is going to be where I'm not going to give you my review because you've already gotten my review unless I decided to change it. I know one of them is going to be changed for sure. I've told you in my last video, but I'll refresh it just to clear it all up. But here's what I'm doing. I'm going to say the title and then hopefully just come up with my one-word to one-sentence thing and then bam, move on. Not like I did with the May. Now I'm going to start with June, okay? The Internship. It just wasn't that funny. The Purge. Some scares, but nevertheless still not a satisfying thriller, horror film, whatever you want to call it. What's next? Man of Steel. How could I forget Man of Steel? A bit disappointing at times, but nevertheless still a fantastic movie. This Is the End. Probably the funniest comedy I've seen all year. It really was. Go check out This Is the End. Monsters University. Pixar starting to pick up its pace again. World War Z. A very satisfying zombie movie. And I really mean it. I didn't think the movie was going to be good. I was really surprised by it, honestly. But that's just me. The Heat. A pretty funny comedy. Buddy cop comedy. Pretty funny buddy cop comedy. I'm going to redo that, okay? A funny buddy cop film with females. Yeah, that's how it's going to go. Okay, that one will work too. White House Down. Forgettable. Just forgettable. That's really what it is. The Lone Ranger. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. Despicable Me 2. Surprisingly, almost as good as the first one. I was really surprised by this one. I really was. I thought it was great. Pacific Rim. This movie got number 3 at the box office and lost to Grown Ups. Unbelievable. Grown Ups 2. This movie beat Pacific Rim at the box office. Yeah, no. It's trippy, man. It's just messed up. Red 2. A surprisingly satisfying sequel. And I really mean it. It was really satisfying. R.I.P.D. God-awful mess. One of the worst movies of the year. And I told y'all in my last video that I was going to change this video just to tie it up with Getaway, but honestly, I just want to let y'all know, I give R.I.P.D. a 1, okay? I was like 1.9. I'm like, that seems like it's being way too generous. I'm going down all the way to 1 because it just was terrible. It really was. There's nothing good about this movie. I didn't like it at all. And snap. Turbo. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I loved this movie. The Conjuring. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are starting to bring back the scary genre. It's weird. The Wolverine. A surprisingly satisfying Wolverine movie that we've all been waiting for, which we didn't get in X-Men Origins. The Smurfs 2. I get it. I mean, $500,000. I get it. Two Guns. Honestly, very enjoyable and very likable and very entertaining. That was probably a weird sentence, but okay. I'm gonna move on now. What am I on now? Oh yeah, Kick-Ass 2. This movie got 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. No. No. Jobs. A wannabe social network movie. What else? I know I'm missing one. Paranoia. Pass the time. Now, okay, no, let me just say this. I know people say that this movie really is rambunctious and horrible. But honestly, you know, I'm just kind of sitting through the movie. I probably didn't really pay much attention. That's how bored I was. But then again, nevertheless, I wasn't necessarily completely, fully detached to where I started to necessarily rant on this movie very badly. But that's just me, okay? But you might agree with me, you might disagree with me. But either way, I still didn't like the movie. What am I on now? Oh yeah, Lee Daniels the Butler. It has that Oscar smell. Or Oscar worthiness, however you want to say it. What am I on now? Oh yeah, Elysium. Oh my god. That's all I gotta say to this movie. Oh my god, this movie was wow. Okay, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say for the movie. Sea of Monsters. Really? Really? What am I on now? Planes. Movie to pass the time. I'm really surprised to see that this movie's actually making money, and it's still within the top 5. I'm really surprised. And the fact that it's still in the top 5 and Elysium's now at number 6, no way. No freaking way. We're the Millers. A movie that feels like it doesn't necessarily satisfy all the way, but nevertheless brings up just brings in uproaring laughs. And it really does. It really... Or let me rephrase this, okay? A movie that may not be what you expect, but you still get plenty of hardcore laughs. That's really what this movie is. Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. Again, really? Again? Twilight, all written all over it. What's the next one? The World's End. May not be necessarily funnier than This Is the End, but nevertheless was way better than This Is the End. Because I love that movie. It was a fantastic movie. It was just, wow. I was very impressed with The World's End. Now what's the next one? You're Next. A surprisingly entertaining slasher movie, even though it's not based off an original idea. Yeah, I think that would be good. And now we're up to this weekend's review. Getaway. Come on. Seriously? And then Closed Circuit. A movie that's probably not gonna make it to theaters, but probably be good to rent on Redbox. Well, that's my summer take on the summer recappiness and all that crap. Now, I know it's not exactly what I planned it to be, but honestly, I decided to get this video done out of the way before I have lunch with my grandmother and all that stuff. But hopefully, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to know what your summer was like. Leave me a comment or video response on your summer recap, okay? What movies did you like? What movies didn't you like, okay? I don't care if I like this one and you didn't like this one, or you like this one and I didn't like that one. Just let me know. I just want to hear from you, okay? And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends. Hopefully, I will see you sometime tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Hopefully this Saturday. Bye.